Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Ramadan, happy spring, happy Ascension, happy light, happy love. This is such a beautiful time of year. This is Terres, Unsold, Master Teacher of Tama Do Academy. I'm up on Misty Haven, the home of the mothership of Tama Do Academy. And I have another miracle to share with you. This is a miracle of light. This is a miracle of love. And I ask you to listen all the way to the end before you jump to any conclusions, because what I'm going to tell you, you might not have considered, and it might be a new way of looking at life, at light. And that's the whole point. Tama Do Academy, as you know, is all about rising up consciousness to the light, to achieve illumination in the daily life. And we are a virtual academy, so Fabien has always said. Even though, yes, we have Misty Haven, and yes, now it's more virtual than ever. The concept of what is it to be virtual means that the physical is not important. Yes, it's important. We have to live if we're on the terrestrial plane. But if you are a spiritual school, the physical cannot come first. What comes first is the light, is the love, is God. And in that belief system, the virtuosity, the virtuality, what it is to be a virtual academy, means that we cannot put this physical first, or we get off track. We get terrestrial. We get, normal. In the drama trauma, in the swampiness of the daily life. And this is not the way of Tama Do. The way of Tama Do, the way of the soul to the light. To achieve illumination in the daily life. This is our grand mission, our grand vision that Fabien and I hold onto as our beacon, our pathway that we guide Tama Do with. So about, 5-7 years ago, Fabien and I started to discuss, it was around 2018, how can we be more virtual? How can we push the teachings up to even a higher level than what we were doing with Tama Do level 1, sound, color, movement, level 2, energy practice, spiritual practice, meditation, prayer, movement, creativity, self-knowledge, shamanic, level 3, contacting God in the heart of nature. How can we go even farther? And it became obvious that the only way to go in a grander vision of light was that one of us had to achieve illumination. One of us, in order to be a virtual academy, had to become virtual. And Fabien jumped at the occasion. He was so excited at the idea of not needing physical form and continuing the teaching. Because, level 1 had gotten a bit too heavy. Level 2 was a little bit heavy. Misty Haven was a little bit too heavy. Everything seemed a bit too heavy when you consider the light as the alternative. And so he started to practice a yogi practice that's called Mahasamadhi, which means the great bliss, how to achieve illumination, and in the process of becoming illuminated, how to eject the physical body which was no longer necessary. How to achieve becoming a being of light for the purpose of shining that light back down on those of us on the terrestrial plane for all eternity. How to become an ascended master. What an appropriate theme to discuss in this time of new life regeneration that is Easter. And that's exactly what Fabien did. It took time. It took us years and years and years of practicing light on the blue couch in Misty Haven, where we went through the noble hero's journey of my book, Shamanism of the Light, and we took every single gate from both of our lives and flipped them to gifts. We did a house cleaning like you would not believe, where we practiced the light. We kept making everything a miracle, everything light, and the joy and the love got bigger and bigger. And when you're in that kind of expansion, of course, at some point, the physical is just in the way and you eject. To reach that point of ejection, we follow the fundamental rule that all must be a miracle. All must be wonder. We practice miracles and wonder and nobility and the power of the light in the daily life in Tama Do Academy. There is no place for sadness. There is no place for grief and death, because there is no death. There is no death in the life, in the light, when you achieve Mahasamadhi. We are not of this physical body, so the Buddha says. We are not in this restriction, confinement, so the Buddha says. We do not die because we have never been born. Because life is not linear. There is not a once upon a time. Even though we have our births, there is only expansion and continuity. Continuation, continuousness of the light. And I ask of each of you, do not get hooked in the human habit of grief and loss and passage, because that is not where Fabien and I stand today. We hold the truth of this grand vision, the vision of virtual reality, of multidimensionality, of all possibility of teaching. When Fabien achieved Mahasamadhi, it was probably the most beautiful day of our lives. Yeah, I was concerned about how am I going to be in contact? Is this a really good idea, this little experiment of ours? I was concerned about the contact. And so we practiced meditation, and we do this in Tama Do, where we rise up and we just start grinning for no better reason than we're just so full of love and joy. And we thought, oh wow, this is like the cosmic grin, the cosmic orgasm, and surely that is a good place to contact each other. And that's what we went by. The day of Fabien's illumination was a day where all the planets were lined up. It was an auspicious moment. It was obvious that that was when all the luminaries were there to help him achieve Mahasamadhi. After his body fell down, the whole room filled with light and such love. Believe me when I tell you that the love story of Fabien and myself has deepened and grown because there is now the virtuality. There is no physical boundaries. There are no barriers. And this love is not just mine. He is here for all of you. If you do the practice, if you believe in miracles, if you believe in the light. Many people ask, what's with this fire? The fire of Misty Haven? Well, obviously, Misty Haven had to achieve illumination, as did Fabien. And I'm all for it. Everything that was material is just in the sky. I tease Fabien that, he loved his room so much he took it with him. But it's gone on the physical. And it is immortal in the sky, in the light. What Fabien does now is he's teaching the higher initiatic teachings of Tama Do through me and through any of his followers that practice the Tama Do way. We meet, we do our Qigong, we do our practice, and he is here for all of us. He chose not to disappear, not to check out on the other side. That has never been our way. He is busy as our guide, as our leader, as our genius visionary who takes me by the hair and pulls me up when I go down into the human level. It is required that each and every one of you, if you want to contact Fabien, then go to the light and stay in the light. What a teaching! Stay in love. Even when the worst thing is happening around you, stay in love. With the light, with God. And he will be there, inside of you, all around you. People keep asking, where's Fabien? He's here! He's here! He's inside! He's around! What's the problem? There is no linearness in virtual reality. We are living it. We are experiencing it and expressing it, and we ask you to join us. Contact me. Contact Fabien. In meditation, in prayer, reach out your hands with the palm up and feel the density of his touch. That's about as dense as he can get. Rise up, and shoot like a rocket, and he will take you and teach you, teach us. It's a miracle. Tama Do has their very own guide, Fabien Maman. This is a time of celebration. This is a time of light. And I stand here today and I transmit the message to you from Fabien. Get over it. There is no death. There is no death in the light. To be continued.